Now, Fox Connecticut Morning News.
Good morning. Welcome back. I want to update you now on some breaking news. Shots fired and now a death in Manchester.
Yeah, we're getting reports of that multiple shooting. This was on Chapel Road. Tom Lewis is live right now with the very latest. Tom, what else are we learning?
I don't think we have Tom, but I'll tell you what we know so far. This is Hartford Distributors. There's Tom. Tom, can you hear us? Tom, why don't you go ahead and give us an update. The last we heard, state police shot the gunman. They're calling it suicide by police, and now we're also learning that the shooter was actually an employee there at Hartford Distributors.
Well, it's very possible. Again, we're not getting a lot of information from officials here at the scene, but we are working our sources from the Current and also our sources here at Fox Connecticut, and we have learned that indeed the shooter is dead, shot by police, and what you mentioned, suicide by cop, and we are trying to work on confirming the fact that this was an employee. This was a busy time for this company, as you might imagine, waking up for business on this early Tuesday morning. We don't know a lot about the victims. We have heard reports as many as 7 people may have been shot. Also, we saw some smoke rising from the building when we were coming on the interstate. We also were working on some details about whether or not this building was set on fire. We did see the smoke plumes coming from the building. As far as what exactly went down for the police to have to shoot this apparent shooter of multiple people here at the beer distribution company, we don't know those details. We do know that there is a wide range of law enforcement here at this hour. You've got state police, and you might be able to hear sirens. You've got tactical units. You've got squad cars from Enfield, Manchester, South Windsor coming and going. As you look at another state police car pulling up, we've even seen some people running towards one edge of the building just within the last 5 minutes. That's why we've been a little bit out of range, but we've also seen some hugs and some tears from potentially some families of some of these shooting victims. What I'll stress again off the top is that when we arrived, and I did grab the ear just for a couple of seconds of a state police representative, and I asked him, can you confirm if there's any fatalities amongst these shooting victims? He said not that he was aware of. Of course, a lot of times at these situations, you may have a law enforcement official that is in one part of the building, one part of the area that may not be fully informed or able to say what they know about what went inside. But we do know that this is a scene that has been very chaotic since we have arrived here. The roads are blocked off on Talon Turnpike and Chapel Road as well. They're being very secretive about what kind of video they want shot. Of course, they asked us not to shoot some of the employees that are kind of gathering near the grass over here. So we're going to cooperate with the law enforcement authorities as best we can and try to give people the same visual that we are here. But again, a domestic or workplace violence episode apparently. Again, we'll work on confirming whether or not the shooter is an employee of this beer distribution company. That's an angle that hopefully we'll get some more information on. We'll stay out here at the scene. Logan and Sarah will get some more information. We'll be back to you in just a couple of seconds.
Tom, are you still seeing smoke coming from the building there?
Well, we're a little bit lower down now, Logan, so we were up a raised on the highway. We did see that. We have seen some fire trucks. There's one right down the road on Talon Turnpike, just out of our camera shot, which I can see with my eye, but they don't seem to be rushing into the scene. So even though we did see some smoke earlier, it may not be a big part of what the scene is all about right now because it didn't seem like it was a fully involved structure fire at this beer distribution company. So it may have been some kind of diversionary tactic. Again, we don't know if the alleged shooter in this case set that fire, where that smoke came from, but it's another angle to a very complicated, a very tragic day here in Manchester, and hopefully those shooting victims, as said by the cop, hopefully the shooting victims, no fatalities, but right now it's something that is changing by the moment.
All right, Tom Lewis live in Manchester. Thanks very much.
Okay, we're getting some new details. The shooter was an employee of Hartford Distributors, as we said. This is coming from Brett Hollander, the Hartford Distributors Director of Marketing, whose family founded and operates this company. At the time of the shooting, he said there were about 35 or 40 people in the warehouse. Our shifts were just changing. Hollander says there are definitely some people that are shot. He says some people that are dead, and this is coming from Hollander, who's the director of marketing. We don't know how many people. We just got this information. Hollander, speaking in a tense and shaken voice just before 8:30 a.m., said employees had moved to a warehouse across the street when police entered the building where the shooter was located. Quote, they just went in there with guns blazing, he said.
And he's saying that several people have died. No exact
quote from
Hollander, how many.
Who's the Hartford Distributors Director of Marketing, says there are definitely some people that are shot, some people that are dead.
Unbelievable. Okay. So we'll stay on top of this again. Hartford Distributors, that's the scene of shots fired, several dead. The gunman, apparently an employee, that's what he's saying. That's what we've been hearing, shot by police. So we'll talk to Tom Lewis, a chaotic scene as he's just been describing out in Manchester. we'll get you some more information as soon as we get it.
Okay, moving on this morning, Governor Rowe is blaming a big